Well, welcome back to another episode of Persona 4 Dancing All Night. We can finally discover what that earthquake was. Let's jump straight in.
Welcome to the Velvet Room. Or as I should say, welcome back. How did it feel to see a glimpse into their festival? That is not the end of the story, mind you. Though they rescued the 4 kidnapped girls, there were still others that they needed to express their feelings to.
The woman chuckles as if fond remembrance and glances to you with the most mischievous glint in her eye.
A strange story, no? Even if they paid a heavy price for conveying their own feelings, it would gain them nothing. Or so it might seem to an outside observer. But for them, such thoughts never entered their minds. Now, why might that be? As I mentioned, nothing without meaning happens in this room. There may be some purpose underlying my decision to tell you about him. Well then, let's continue watching.
Yes, let's continue watching. When the woman raises her hand, the light pours out and gradually envelops your surroundings.
Let us witness the result of their decision to convey their feelings.
Nozomi and Ochimizu are in some sort of dressing room. Ochimizu is sitting in front of the mirrors and seems to be gazing at the notes on it.
Never telling you how I really feel. I'm going out for a moment. You stay here and finish working on your dance for the festival.
Out? Where to?
I have some business to attend to. Looks like there's someone I need to talk to after all.
Business? But...
Ochimizu quiets Nozomi with her usual glare. Nozomi can't help but fall silent.
I didn't know you had the temerity to speak against me, Nozomi. If you can speak that way to me, there's no way you're frightened of other people.
Okay. Wait, is that how that works? Huh? Ms. Ochimizu! What do I do? Oh! An earthquake! Oh, what's going on? Rise-san! Anyone?
Now that we've reached our rendezvous point, we wait for the arrival of Rise's team of second years. They should be here soon. Shortly, Chie notices something down the path behind us and waves in that direction as she speaks up.
Hey, Rise-chan and the others are here!
Yoo-hoo, Sensei! Chie-chan! Yuka-chan!
Yo! Man, you guys are fast. We were really trying to hustle, too.
Huh, we can't let you win that easy. Though you did pretty good saving 2 of them yourselves.
Kanji and Yosuke fist bump, and the others smile and exchange looks, as if making sure that everyone's safe. A sense of immense relief fills the air, and I feel a smile rise into my face as well. By the way, Teddy, what's with the outfit? No, now's not the time to get distracted by that.
Okay, so is everyone alright? That was a pretty serious quake a second ago.
It took us by surprise, but we're fine. Any idea what that was about?
We don't really get it either. This place was already like this when we got here. The ground was still shaking. It just stopped a second ago, like it's saying, everything's ready now.
Chie is right. We got here right before that earthquake stopped. This bizarre scenery surrounding us now was still only shifting into place when we first arrived here. It was creaking and twisting for some time before it all settled into place.
Does that mean the quake happened because the scenery was being reshaped?
That's right. You see, this is a new stage I've prepared. place again.
Ha! Too bad for you. We rescued all 4 of the girls you kidnapped.
That's right! What are you hoping to do with this new stage of yours?
It has nothing to do with you. I regret to tell you that none of you, even the 4 you rescued, are needed in this world anymore.
What do you mean?
Just as I said, I feel sorry for them, but you've poisoned those girls against us, and they've cast away their bones. So I don't need them anymore. I'm only interested in those girls as everyone else knows them. I want an eternal bond without pain or suffering.
When will it get through your thick skull? There ain't no such thing.
You said this was a new stage that you prepared. What are you planning on doing with it this time?
I haven't done anything. There was someone who wished to connect with me, so I'm only granting them their wish.
Don't be ridiculous! No one would want that!
You don't believe me? Then why not ask me yourself? Here.
We turn at the mysterious voice's taunt. GA's right, there can't be anyone like that. But as a familiar woman walks towards us, we realize that we were wrong.
Miss Ochimizu, what the?
You want to connect with me. You want to bond. Isn't that right, Kyoka Ochimizu?
Yes, that's right.
What the heck is this?
I have no reason to answer that. The girls are safe. Take them and go back to the real world at once. There's still time until the festival. Practice like death is awaiting you. No mistakes will be tolerated.
What? This isn't the time for that stuff. What do you think?
As Yosuke and the rest of us move to chase after Miss Ochimizu, a black haze billows in before us and forms strange, misty figures. Ugh, these are...
Shadows! Yosuke-kun, get back! How unsightly. Get a grip on yourselves. Are you really so foolish? If you mean to appear on stage, then you'd best be aware that there are no worst-case scenarios in the world of professionals. You consider every possibility, and eliminate every one apart from what will work. And you pursue those at any cost.
Ochi, what are you saying? This isn't showbiz we're talking about!
Dude, you better not be thinking about giving yourself up to get us out of here. To hell with that! You got another thing coming if you think we'd go for that!
He's right. We would never allow it. If you did that, and you would not be the only victim. The shadows here are the viewers of the LMB website who were pulled into this world.
What? For real? That's the first I've heard about that.
No, it's true. We'll explain more later. Right now, we need to stop Miss Ochimizu.
Even knowing this, are you willing to let those people succumb to this mess by your actions?
Huh. How naive. I've already been informed.
What?
I'm used to disappointing the audience. It's impossible to satisfy them all anyway. Nothing is gained without suffering. You said as much. The first rule of business is to maximize gains while minimizing costs.
A sudden raw frustration rises within me at Miss Ochimizu's words. All month we've been practicing as hard as we can, but we're still only amateurs, so Miss Ochimizu's professional standards were clear when she stated that she won't allow any mediocrity from us. And now she's the one talking about making compromises? Maybe that's why I feel this outrage. We're facing heavy odds, but the best performances come from overcoming those odds. Ever since we came to this world, we've been doing our best to show her that. And now Miss Ochimizu, with all her perfectionism, is giving up?
Miss Ochimizu. You're trying to take this whole thing on alone. We're not okay with you sacrificing yourself.
What you're saying means nothing to me. I'm telling you that this is how it should be, so drop it. I have nothing more to discuss with you all. If you understand, then hurry up and get out of here. I'm sure Inoue can manage the rest.
Miss Ochimizu!
Ochimizu, you little...
Now, I have a promise with Miss Ochimizu to keep. I'll return you all to your world.
Damn it! What do we do, partner?
Yosuke yells, looking to me for support, but his face held none of the uncertainty from his words. We already know our answer.
Sorry, but we have to turn you down. There's no way we're going back without Miss Ochimizu and the others.
Is that so? That's too bad. This was your chance to go back, too. Well then, do as you wish.
The hell? It's taking this better than I thought.
But don't forget, this place is meant to connect with everyone. Come now, I'll let you all join us.
The eerie song grows louder and the shadows sway their limbs in bizarre motions. I had a feeling it wouldn't be so easy.
Yeah, stupid kanji! It's not being reasonable at all!
What? How is that my fault?
This would have happened either way. Still, we absolutely won't run from this.
I must agree wholeheartedly. She didn't understand at all what we meant to convey, and we certainly won't yield to her twisted logic.
All right. Hey, guys. Leave this place to me. Don't worry about me. I got this. You guys need to move on. Yeah.
Chie suddenly steps forward, all puffed up, as she makes her declaration. Chie, I'm not too sure a line like that worked here.
What are you talking about? Even if we weren't worried about you, we can't go anywhere until we take these guys out.
Oh, yeah. Whatever. Don't worry about such trifles, little boy.
Little boy?
Rise-chan, bring up my song before anyone can stop me.
Huh? Oh, okay.
We can't let this little thing beat us after all. I mean, I know Ms. Ochimizu might not want our help at all, but we can't give up just because of that. We've got to chase after Ms. Ochimizu and make her understand.
Chie.
Here goes, Shadows. I'm gonna rock your faces with my kung fu dance. Play the music.
Get ready to dance.
Here we go.
Don't think. Dance. You're ready, Chie. Go for it. Going great. All right. I'm on a roll.
It's the wrong road. I call when the getting wants. Body stronger, stronger. The farther on you go.
All right. I'm on a roll.
Thought I knew you. You can never say I'm in me. There's sorry shadow I could turn out to be.
Going great. All right. Charging complete. All right, success. Now let's make it exciting. Going great.
Yes!
You're doing great. Bam! Just the way you practiced. Thanks, Yukiko. You definitely fascinated me.
The stage truly shines when two such ladies are performing on it.
Oh, I'm unbeatable with Yukiko next to me. All right, success.
That was great.
Wrong road. My friends keep you on the path. Take a wrong turn.
Going great.
Wrong turn. And they'll be on your back. Calling you out.
All right, I'm on a roll.
As ice cold, I guess on the road. We keep
Bam!
each other strong, going toe
All right,
to
success.
toe.
Woohoo! Yep.
just the way you practiced.
Thanks, Yukiko. You definitely fascinated me.
Damn. I couldn't look away.
And there you have it, the dance of our friendship. Great success!
Wow, awesome!
Tomoe!
A slight cock up at one point. I lost it. I lost my groove.
Men should be brave. Women too. Is that right?
I feel full of your energy, Chie. I'm gonna do my best too.
Still excitedly cheering, the shadows freed by Chie's dance began dissolving into modes of light and disappeared into the air. Chie, you did it.
I'd say I definitely got through to him.
That was amazing! Being athletic is important after all. You might make a good dancer, Chie-senpai.
Hey, you see that? We'll never do what you want us to.
Hell yeah! We're gonna say that Ochimizu chick too, you hear?
Very well. I'll let you have this one. But I wonder if things will go quite the way you want.
I think it's gone again. But Ms. Ochimizu must be pretty far away by now.
Yeah, what the hell's up with that Ochimizu chick? Can't believe she pulled a double cross like that.
And after we worked so hard to get this far, not gonna lie, I'm shocked that nothing we've done has gotten through to her.
As the adrenaline wears off and the reality of the situation sets in, Miss Ochimizu's words come back to haunt us. I can sympathize, but we don't have the luxury of getting caught up in our anxiety.
We'll keep trying, no matter how many times it takes. All of us butted heads plenty of times before we came to understand each other. Don't you think we owe the same to Ms. Ochimizu too?
Some bunch we are. See, that's the thing we were trying to express, and we managed to forget it ourselves.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if we're dealing with shadows or Ms. Ochimizu. What we need to do doesn't change.
I'm gonna do my best too. We're gonna get Ochi to understand no matter what.
We look to each other and nod, smiling. Yeah, this is how we've always done things. Now and for everything to come, we'll move forward together alongside our friends.
Anyway, we should compare notes. Looks like we've learned some new things.
Oh, right. You said that those shadows are the victims, right, Naoto-kun?
Right. But first we should tell you what we've found out. After that, we can hear what you've learned.
Very well. The floor is yours, Senpai.
What's wrong, Rise?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking that you really are still our leader, Senpai. Come on, let's get on with the powwow.
Naruto's group presented us with quite a surprising revelation. According to them, the shadows here may have been forcefully drawn out from the victims that watched that video at midnight. If that's true, then this might explain why the victims in the room that Naruto spoke of fell into comas. For our part, we told them about how those dressing room notes were from the diary of a deceased idol named Yuko Asada. We also shared our theory that the culprit is someone in Takura Productions, given what they know about Yuko-san and Kaname Kitchen. It was a bit of a surprise that they had found new evidence all on their own, but we were proud of how much they've grown.
I get it! When people watch the video on the site, their shadows get pulled into this world.
It's still just speculation, but considering the evidence at hand, I see no reason to doubt it.
I'm mostly surprised that voice isn't a ghost.
We don't really know much about it.
You know, this is kind of a shock for me. I knew about Yuko Asada too, but I never would have imagined those notes were hers. Does this mean the culprit is someone involved with the agency, knew about the Kaname Kitchen girls, and knows a lot about Yuko-san? Is there anyone who fits that description at our agency?
Rise, what about Inoue-san? Any possibility that he might have known Yuko-san?
What, Inoue-san? Yeah, he would have been with the agency around that time, but the people who would have really known about it from then are... Oh! There is something I heard from Inoue-san once. Before Miss Ochimizu went freelance, she used to be with Takara Productions. So it would make sense for Miss Ochimizu to know about Yuko-san!
Rise's words leave us all shaken. After all, just a moment ago, Miss Ochimizu...
What are we saying here? I mean, it was just a few minutes ago that she...
She was trying to sacrifice herself to get us home.
That's it then. Our first job is to catch up to Ms. Ochimizu and rescue her. Even if she's not the culprit, if she knew Yuko-san, she should be able to tell us something.
I can't tell how far we've been running as we continue in pursuit of Miss Ochimizu. We catch sight of a silhouette up ahead. From here, it looks like there's one person in the center of a mob of shadows. That has to be her.
Look! Isn't that...
Miss Ochimizu!
You kids, what are you doing here?
Sorry, but we all decided that we weren't gonna leave here by ourselves.
Casualties would be minimal, but we don't intend to save ourselves by using others as stepping stones.
Besides, there's something we need to ask you. It's about Yuko Osada. What foolish children. You and Yuko alike.
So you do know something. The hell are you hiding?
Miss Ochimizu doesn't answer Kanji and simply tilts her head, glaring skyward. That voice must be here. I instinctively settle into a stance, prepared to confront the unseen master of the Midnight Stage.
I know you're there. Our deal was clear. Return them to the real world at once.
Oh, sorry, but I can't do that. Didn't I tell you before? The only ones who can enter this world are those who wish to do so.
Only those who wish to.
Ugh. It's pointless to follow me. Head back now while you still can.
Seemingly giving up on negotiating with the voice, Miss Ochimizu speaks sharply and turns without waiting for our response. No. How can we get her to listen to us?
Ah! Ochi!
Ms. Ochimizu!
Here we go again. As we start after her, the shadows that have been surrounding Miss Ochimizu block our path. I see. They weren't trying to keep her there after all. They were following her around as
Oh,
bodyguards.
sheesh! These guys again? Oh, are they gonna keep getting in our way?
You still don't get it. No matter how much you struggle, it's all useless. There's no need for these struggles now. All you have to do is accept my bond, or leave this place. Doesn't that sound nice? Whichever one you choose, you won't have to suffer anymore.
Don't be ridiculous! There's no way we choose either of those! That's right! We won't leave anyone behind!
Oh, poor children. Very well then, I'll make the choice for you. Come now, won't you connect with us?
I glanced to my friends as the shadows began their dancing. Yosuke, Yukiko, Chie, each one of them seems unflinchingly forward, staring down the shadows before us. Good. There's nothing to worry about. They won't hesitate anymore.
So you're determined not to let us through, huh? Fine. We're determined not to back down, so there!
But these shadows are the hearts of the LMB audience, aren't they? Thinking about it that way makes this harder to do.
No. That's exactly why we need to express ourselves to them. If these shadows are trapped by the bond that voice talked about, then they need to see for themselves that this bond isn't right.
Sensei's right. This is perfect as practice for that Love Meets Bonds festival. Leave this to Teddy, Prince of the Dance. It's time for some sad Teddy night fever.
Well said, Teddy. This is your time to shine.
All right, Teddy, go get 'em!
Such passionate cheers from the ladies. I'm feeling the heat now. And that being said, bring on the cup step.
Saw Teddy Night Fever.
Let's get it started now.
Don't blame me if I steal your heart away with my dance of love.
Team Jeunesse has been deployed. It's all you, Teddy.
Woohoo! Yahoo! Ha-ha! Woohoo! Got it! I'm ready whenever!
I can't just sit and watch.
There we go!
Dead on!
All right, Teddy, keep that energy going.
Well, you kept up with my skills? Not bad, Yosuke.
They're both fantastic.
Wow! You really got the moves, Yosuke! Woohoo! You and me, we're gonna dance all night there! Woohoo!
Get up, it's gonna get real.
Get up, it's gonna get...
Ha!
Get up, it's gonna get...
Perfecto!
Get up, it's gonna get real.
There!
Get up, it's gonna get...
You're on fire!
Okay! Ha! Woohoo! This bear is fully charged! Yeah! Perfecto! You even stuck the
All
landing!
right, time for me to liven this up.
Ha-ha!
Yeah, yeah!
Woohoo!
Is he getting carried away? Good, keep at it.
Well, you kept up with my skills? Not bad, Yosuke.
You brought out the best in each other.
Wow! You really got the moves, Yosuke! Hey-ya! Yahoo!
It's gonna get real.
Looking good!
Ha-ha! There we go! Hey-ya! Yahoo! Ha-ha!
Persona. I think I missed the scratch. So I won't get King Crazy.
Brilliant! Finally, it's my turn.
It's
in the
interesting because it doesn't actually show the good or the miss.
That
It's
was
a missed
great
scratch.
dance, Teddy.
So close, so close. Teddy hits all of his one-of-a-kind dance moves, and as the shadows cheer him on, a gentle light slowly courses over them. That really was impressive. Teddy's dance had a lot of improvisation in it, but as far as self-expression, it was perfect. No wonder he's the popular mascot of Jeunesse. He really is a born entertainer.
Thank you very much, everyone. I'm really glad you all understood.
You're still putting up a fight like pitiful children.
Shut up! You're like a broken record with that. We're not pitiful.
It's you we pity for believing this is anything like a true bond.
Pity? Me? But I'm perfectly happy. Everyone yearns for me after all. That's what happiness is. You just don't know the joys of truly abandoning yourself.
Hey! Get back here, damn it!
Oh no, it's gone again!
Just as they say, the voice's presence has faded. Once more, we are on our own. Honestly, it's a little exasperating. We've come this far, but it still won't show itself or actually have a conversation.
We did at least learn one important thing from what the voice said.
We did?
You mean about how Ms. Ochimizu made a deal with that voice?
Broadly, yes, but the terms the voice spoke of were more specific. It mentioned that the only ones who can come to this world are those who wish to do so. And from that, we can deduce something crucial.
Like?
I've actually been wondering about this the whole time. When we first came to this world, that voice half forced us out. Yet when we returned to save the girls of Kahneman Kitchen, the voice never attempted to drive us away. This is despite how inconvenient it would be for that voice's plans if we had rescued all 4 of the girls.
You know, it's true. If our being here could have messed up its plans, then you'd think all it would have had to do is force us out again.
Yes, from that perspective, I'd hesitate to believe that what the voice said was untrue. Actually, there's one mystery left regarding this point.
There is?
You mean the time when it happens?
No. Excluding the members of Kahneman Kitchen, all of the incidents were concentrated around midnight. What I was trying to bring to your attention is what the victims have in common.
But isn't that just how the people who watched that video on the site got here?
Yes, that's the first condition. But some victims fell into a coma, and some didn't, even when they were watching the video side by side. Until now, I couldn't determine what separated the two.
Huh. I see your point. That is pretty weird. I mean, leaving aside Risei and the Kahneman Kitchen girls who got brought here to perform, it doesn't make sense that some fell in while others didn't if they watched the video under the same conditions.
Indeed, but everything makes sense now. The victims were all people who wished to enter this world.
Whoa! Are you serious? What are you saying, Naoto-kun? There's no way anyone would want that for themselves.
I see. You're talking about the bond that voice spoke of.
Yes. I doubt that the desire needed to enter this world is to fall into the midnight stage. Rather, it's the people who harbor a desire for bonds without pain the voice spoke of, somewhere in their hearts.
So the ones who wanted this fake-ass bond fall into this place.
Ah! That's why when we convey to the shadows about this not being a real bond, those ribbony things come whooshing off, and they sparkle away back to where they belong.
I think I can understand how they feel. We were all like that once. If I hadn't met all of you, I wouldn't have been able to show anyone my true self. It's normal to want to be accepted while still being afraid of getting hurt.
Yeah. It's like my inner self is so uncool that I wouldn't want anyone else to see it.
Well, your outer self isn't cool either, though.
Was that seriously necessary? Can't you see what I'm getting at?
I have listened to Yosuke and Chie's banter while I mentally sort out for the information we have at hand. Who the culprit may be, the victims, the conditions for falling into this world. Good. It's quite a bit of information.
All right, we should get going. We can't waste too much time. We have to express our feelings to Ms. Ochimizu and bring her back with us no matter what.
She knew about Yugo-san just like we thought. If she can tell us more, then we might be able to figure out who that voice really is.
As we follow the lanterns that seem to light a path forward, we eventually reach a bizarre-looking place. Are these cherry blossoms?
What is this place? It's like a feudal lord's house from some samurai movie. Should I be taking off my shoes?
I seriously don't think that's where we are. And Teddy, you don't even wear shoes.
Sumomo-san's dollhouse, Tamami-san's circus, Nozomi-san's castle, and Tomoe-san's cityscape. Piecing together what we've discovered, it seems clear that the landscape here reflects the person everyone wishes them to be. Which means...
Look! Over there! It's Mizochimizu!
Tell me one thing. Are you Yuko Asada?
Well, who knows? I'm sure you can guess the answer to that, Mizochimizu.
I see.
Mizochimizu!
Damn it, lady!
I killed someone, you know.
That was out of the blue?
I was young then. I believed in things like doing your best and living honestly. Just the way you do now.
Is this about Yuko Osada?
That's right. I was her manager. Yuko Asada. I still clearly remember the anxiety on her face when we first met.
Wow. Her manager? You must have known her well then.
Yes, I remember Yuko well. She was uniquely talentless among the innumerable crowd of idols.
How could you say that?
It's the truth. She was immature as a performer. No better than an amateur. Just like you.
How dare you!
I quietly stepped forth between Rise and stopped her from barking back at Mr. Chimizu's words. It's okay. Now's not the time to be reapproaching her.
Even so, she and I worked hard. I remember how she'd always say, I want to convey to everyone how important it is to hang in there. I did everything I could to sell Yuko's name and grant her wish. I thought that if her fans took even slight encouragement from her songs, it would be worth it in the end.
Miss Ochimizu.
She was a hit. We both cried with joy over her success. So many fans showed up at her meet and greets that Yuko was exhausted by the end, and her concerts always sold out. Very quickly, Yuko rose to become a top idol. But around the time that song, Calistegia, was going to be released, both of us came to a realization. Without noticing it, we had arrived at a destination very different and very far from what Yuko had wanted.
I see now. Those notes that we found in the dressing room. They were cries for help written by Yuko-san. Yuko-san came to that realization when she wrote the lyrics about Morning Glories, about Calistegia. She realized that what she most wanted to convey to her audience wasn't possible in her current position. That's why Yuko-san...
That's why she was yearning for a bond. And because the song she wrote was about bonds, she changed its lyrics herself.
Yuko realized that she had no bonds with anyone. The song that she wrote was no longer about the Yuko Asada that her fans imagined her as. She finally reached a point where she could convey her true feelings, but she lost the words to express them to her fans.
That's awful.
But I realized something then too. Yuko's wish was never attainable from the beginning. The most die-hard fans immediately turned on me. They labeled me a murderer for crushing Yuko's dream.
That's horrible.
No, it's fine. I am a murderer after all. I killed Yuko, so the label fits.
Something's not right. The usual dry sarcasm is gone from Mr. Chimizu's voice, and in its place are tinges of madness. At the same time, the dark aura forming around her begins to swirl and cling with a sense of dangerous volatility. Anger, sadness, hatred, suffering, her mind must be churning within a storm of powerful emotions.
What the hell? Isn't she acting kind of weird?
Miss Ochimizu is happy. How wonderful. Now the self that others wish her to be, and the self that she wishes for are in sync.
What?
Her bond with everyone is amazing. Here, I'll let you hear it too.
Miss Ochimizu is scary as shit. She's like some kind of hard-ass veteran. You'd think she was born to be hated.
Her whole way of talking just rubs you the wrong way. That she's good at her job and great looking too just makes it worse.
I heard
heard she's making stacks of cash preying on her idols. Then again, those are rumors that help Kanamin's group sell so much.
Yeah, that's just how you roll when you've got actual skills. It's fun to watch. From a distance, anyway. Those bastards! They don't know shit about anything, so they say whatever they want.
Have fun.
Damn it! Mizochimizu!
Mizochimizu!
Shut up. Shut up! Shut up! Convey how you feel. That's impossible. No one wants that anyway. If we had just accepted that at the start, things wouldn't have turned out the way they did for Yuko.
Suddenly, women shoot out from all sides as if in reaction to Mr. Chimizu's cry and begin rapping across her body. It's just like Tamami-san and the others. No, wait, it isn't. This is more like Miss Ochimizu is offering herself up.
Whoa! The hell is that?
The singer's dreams and wishes don't matter at all. To hell with them. Everything will go fine as long as you tweak them to meet the audience's needs.
Miss Ochimizu.
It's fine. It's fine. From the fools who won't even listen, to the ones with nothing to say, I'll control every last one of them. Now I understand why those shadows didn't dare lay a finger on me in this world. Look at me. This is my true self. The me that the fans fear. More than that, this is the me that the fans' shadows fear.
What tremendous power. This is beyond anything else we've faced here.
Damn it! Are they this strong because she's totally accepted the way they see her?
The dark aura explodes with force, blasting wind over us. We try to stand our ground, but we can barely keep our eyes open. At that moment, Miss Ochimizu's body disappears from the air before us. What appears instead is...
That's right! This is the me the fans want! And it's the me I want to be too! Your words won't reach me! I have no time for whatever you naive brats have to say! Get real, you goddamn brats! Throw away your identity, and everything will be that much easier to deal with!
The eerie song rings out in our minds louder than ever before, and I can't help but grasp my head in pain, sinking into a crouch. The shadows that had somehow filled the audience sway their bodies in time to the song, seemingly trying to break our wills.
Oh, this is tough. It's giving me a bigger headache than anything else.
This is no joke!
This isn't right. Miss Ochimizu has lost sight of the truth. Everyone, stand your ground. We can't lose here for her sake.
We get you, Senpai. It's up to us now. We're gonna get it through to her that what she wanted wasn't wrong. That Yuko chick's wish ain't impossible.
Right. Rise, get ready. I know this won't be easy, but I'll keep trying to express our feelings until she understands.
We know you can do it, Senpai! Show that Miss Ochimizu what you're made of!
Here goes. Bring on the music!
Okay, here we go.
Miss Ochimizu, I want you to witness our feelings too.
I can't wait to see your cool moves!
All right. Went well?
And it's great how we make each other.
How's that?
On this wild and crazy kind of style of life. Ain't it cool how it changed the path of our lives?
All right, I'm ready whenever.
A new adventure.
All right.
This carousel takes us round and round. This
That's the spirit.
of life, you can't tell up from down.
How's that?
Having so much fun.
Mizochimizu, just hang in there!
Atta girl, coach. Join in again sometime.
You're in sync. Very nice.
You really showed your skills as a top idol. How's that? That went well. Yeah. Perfect. That went well. Yeah. Yeah! All right, I'm ready whenever. Perfect. All right. How's that? That went well. Yeah. All right. That went well.
Let's go! I won't lose!
Yeah, you're doing it!
You're doing great! I can feel what's in your heart!
Atta girl, coach. Join in again sometime.
Now the moment of truth.
You danced your heart out, Rise. It was incredible.
Looking good.
There's a couple of sections that are really difficult, or at least they were for me.
Brilliant!
How about that?
You're incredible no matter what you do. That's my senpai.
I danced with all the strength I had. That's all I could do. Maybe I'm still young and an amateur, but I danced with everything I could to answer what you're feeling, Miss Ochimizu. Please let my feelings be conveyed to her. Staring at the monster, I make one last mental plea before it cries out in pain.
Yes! Did we get through to her?
No, no! I won't accept this! I'll never accept it!
How stubborn are you? Just accept it already!
Shut up! Why didn't it work for Yuko? If you can convey your feelings to others, then why couldn't she? It's impossible to make anyone understand. That's nothing but a goddamn fairy tale! Me, the audience, the songs, the dances, they're all flimsy lies. None of them can mean anything!
That's not true. Then why did you go to the trouble of having Konami-san's group learn the song Yuko-san wrote? Isn't it because you wanted everyone to hear her song? Because you wanted them to understand the feelings Yuko-san never got to express? Even if it's just a little bit?
I wanted them to understand?
The monster finally bursts, and all that remains is Miss Ochimizu, head bowed low. Did we get through to her?
Miss Ochimizu!
Miss Ochimizu!
How shameful of me. You just had to stomp right into my heart and show off. I had you pegged as barely capable of participating in a school performance. And yet, here you are, cutting through to my heart.
Oh, then you understand what we were trying to say.
Oh, you were just crying. Come on, why'd you have to freak us out like that?
Kanji, you don't talk like that to adults.
She's right, Kanji. You really gotta think before you open your big mouth.
Glad you're all right, Miss Ochimizu.
Come on, you guys, relax.
A smile
She's
spread over
okay
everyone's
now, and that's all
faces,
that matters.
and a warm atmosphere settles over us. I'm so glad. All my efforts, no, all our efforts went for nothing.
How many years did I waste, groveling alone and taking out my pain on all those around me? I thought if people were going to hate me, I'd give them what they wanted. I was the worst, most despicable person I could be. I even went around claiming responsibility for the lyrics Yuko changed.
Mizochimizu.
I was wrong. I need to apologize to you. And to Yuko.
There's a lot we have to apologize for as well.
No, you don't. You all expressed exactly how you felt. You proved to me that it's possible to convey your feelings to someone else. That alone is enough to release Yuko from her suffering. And me from mine.
Mizochimizu!
Ochi!
That's no good, Mizochimizu. Don't tell me you've been poisoned by these children too. You, who denied your true self for years and became the cold woman everyone wanted you to be.
Suddenly, the voice echoes again, and we instinctively stand ready to protect Mizochimizu, but it looks like that's no longer necessary. I glance towards Mizochimizu, but she pushes past us and stands resolute, her former confidence now returned.
Poisoned? Yes, I suppose they have poisoned me.
What about your deal? If you discard every bit of the you that everyone wished you to be, you'll face the same suffering again.
Enough! I revoke my deal with you. I'll make no more compromises. The Kanamine Kitchen girls, these shadows you speak of, and even you. I will save every last one of you from this place.
Isn't it us who will do the actual saving part?
Never mind that. Be quiet or she'll hear.
Oh, what a disappointment. Do whatever you want then.
It went away again.
No, we won't let it escape this time. I've already made up my mind about that. For it to use Yuko's song for such vile ends. The more I think about it, the angrier I become.
Yuko's song? What is she talking about?
Wait. Are you saying you hadn't noticed? I'm appalled. And you call yourselves professionals. You couldn't even figure that out despite hearing it so often.
No one said we were pros.
A beam of light shines down in the center of the stage behind us, and the usual dressing room door appears. But is this the usual door? No, something's out of place. I take a closer look at that door and realize there's something unusual about it.
Whoa, another door! Wow, these things can show up anywhere. Maybe I should start calling them anywhere.
Nope. It's not like the other doors we've seen. This one leads to an edit bay.
An edit bay?
It's something like a booth used for recording and sound editing. This one looks like the door to the room at Takara Productions.
Hold on, let me check inside first. Okay, it seems safe. I'm not sensing any shadows in there.
Then let's take a look inside. Follow me, everyone.
The Empress Dethroned. So, once again, before we can find out what is inside this door, we're going to have to go back into the past and see what's happening in the real world with Konami and Nanako and Dejima. See how they're faring. And what is all these mysterious little flashy headaches that Konami keeps getting every time she tries to remember anything connected to Yuko and Calisthesia? We'll find out later on. So, as for usual, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I will catch you in Chapter 6 of Persona 4 Dancing All Night. Until then, please take care.